talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers right now are 7-2 since the trade deadline, and they're one of the hottest teams in the NBA. I look at the Los Angeles Lakers as a contender in the Western Conference, and you may call me crazy, but look at what they just did against the Denver Nuggets 4 days ago. They beat the Denver Nuggets 123-100. Usually, Jokic would go out there with Jamal Murray and they would crush the Los Angeles Lakers. That has been their Achilles heel over the last 2 to 3 years. The fact that they cannot get past the Denver Nuggets in the NBA playoffs and in the regular season. But JJ Redick did something so phenomenal in that matchup against Jokic. He came out and he said that he did not go to sleep for the last 3 days preparing for that matchup. Now, that does concern me because if you face the Denver Nuggets in a series, how the hell are you going to continue to make that game plan work? But it worked for that one game against the Nuggets. They put multiple bodies on Jokic. Bodies on bodies, from Austin Reeves bumping him off his spot, Jared Vanderbilt sliding over, Rui Hachimura, and the same with Jackson Hayes. And they forced Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. to hit those tough threes. And those tough threes were not consistent all game long. And you saw Luka and LeBron. As soon as we get a rebound, we're going to push it down the court. We're going to beat them in fast breaks. We're going to beat them in transition. We're going to tire them out. And then we're going to put more bodies on Jokic. We're going to frustrate him. Other pieces have to go out there and they have to beat us besides Jamal Murray and Jokic. And that's just a great game plan by JJ Redick. Darvin Ham, he will put Jokic in one-on-one situation with Anthony Davis. And he'll say, you know what? Anthony Davis, you're one of our best defensive players. You're one of the best defensive players in the NBA. Have at it. And you're giving Jokic the same diet over and over again. Eventually, he's going to crush you. Jokic is one of the best players in the NBA. So by JJ Redick, a rookie head coach, going out there and giving him different looks on the defensive side of the ball, it was great to see if you're a Lakers fan. And I'm a huge fan of JJ Redick. I did have a lot of question marks around him when they first hired him to be the head coach. And I have that for any coach in any league. When you don't have head coaching experience, I'm concerned by that. But to see JJ Redick have the podcast that he had, one of the best podcasts by an ex-NBA player, he'll go on ESPN and he'll say, hey, you guys are not understanding what's going on with some of these players. And he had a podcast with LeBron. It was only 5 episodes deep. But you saw him and LeBron go out there. They had a lot of respect for each other. And they'll just dissect the game. And one episode in particular made me look at JJ Redick differently when he said, if I was able to go out and coach you, if I was able to go out there and have you as a teammate, I would feed you on the perimeter. I would move you around. I'll make sure that you'll be more so of a guy that's a cutter instead of just a main ball handler over and over again. And this is something that the Lakers have struggled with. They tried to bring in Russell Westbrook many years ago. That didn't work out. They have been looking for someone to take the load off of LeBron. LeBron can still give you 25 to 30 points a game, even at the age of 40. And it seems like he's going to do this until he plays his last game in the NBA. Easily one of the best players I've ever seen. He's going to go down as an all-time great. But it's only so much that he can do. We saw this when he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers in his first stint. We saw this with the Miami Heat. He has to have help. LeBron James cannot be your guy every single game. Not at this stage of his career. Even though he can give you 25 and 30, he needs extra help. The problem with Anthony Davis, great player, but he's more so of a great defensive player, than he is an offensive player. Because even though Anthony Davis will go out there, he'll get you 35 points in certain matchups. He'll take a game off where he only has 15 points. The offensive production was not always there, and he's not the ideal guy to take the pressure off of LeBron. You make this trade for Luka. You bring him over. He can run your offense, not just for a couple possessions, but for an entire game. And now it takes a load off of LeBron. He could take time off. Your offense is not going to take a major step back. I remember when they first traded Russell Westbrook off this roster, LeBron, when he took time off the court, when he'll take a couple minutes off, their offense take a major step back. And we've seen Austin Reeves grow into that role. He's also a very good ball handler who can run the offense also. So now you look at LeBron in certain games this season and even upcoming for the rest of the schedule. LeBron doesn't have to go out there and do everything on the offensive end. And it has freed up LeBron to go out there and do other things besides just work on the offensive side of the ball. He's going back to his defensive roots, some things that he was doing when he was younger. And I'm not saying that he's a lockdown defender because he's not. But this defense has been better since they made the trade to bring in Luka. It was really addition by subtraction when they made the trade to move D'Angelo Russell off of this roster. When I look at D'Angelo Russell, he was a solid basketball player. He was not terrible, but D'Angelo Russell will give you 30 points one night. The next night, he'll only give you 4 or 5 on terrible shooting, terrible efficiency. You look at Luka. His worst night on the offensive end may come with his shooting splits. He may shoot 17% from 3. He's still going to get you 20 points a game by getting to the 3-point line and making sure that he facilitates the basketball and he can get the basketball to LeBron James and lob situations. The same with Austin Reeves. D'Angelo Russell, he's not going to truly run your offense every single night at an elite level. Luka can do that. And since this Luka trade, LeBron James' numbers have skyrocketed. And the same with Austin Reeves. LeBron, 30 points a game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal a game. Austin Reeves, 24 points a game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal a game. Luka, the shooting splits are not there, but the IQ is there with LeBron. 19 points a game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, averaging a steal a game. Give Luka his credit, give LeBron his credit, but it's the way that JJ Redick is moving these guys around. Dribble handoffs with Austin Reeves, screening Luka with LeBron, running that 2-man game, getting Jackson Hayes involved in lob situations. We know one thing with Luka, since he's been a rookie and since he was at the Euro League, he loves to throw those lob passes, similar to Trae Young. And we saw this with the Dallas Mavericks when they went to the finals last year against the Boston Celtics. Daniel Gafford, get to the rim. Derek Lively, get to the rim over and over again. And you put extra pressure on the defensive side for the opposing team. And now Austin Reeves is wide open for 3. LeBron is wide open for 3. Luka wide open for 3 because Luka and LeBron, they can slash to the rim, and the same with Austin Reeves. And I'm not saying the Lakers, they're the perfect team all of a sudden. They're not. We saw them lose against the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball, one-on-one situation with Luka, pick and roll, get to the rack. We saw them lose against the Utah Jazz. Those type of losses are going to happen. You don't have to win every single game, but you learn from those losses, and that's what JJ Redick has done. He has been a major step up over Darvin Ham, and I want to give Rob Pelinka a lot of credit because Rob Pelinka has gotten a lot of hate in the past when he made the trade to bring in Russell Westbrook. And you had a lot of Laker fans being upset. You traded Kyle Kuzma. You traded essential pieces to bring in a guy that didn't fit. You basically made Anthony Davis play the 5 position even though he wanted to be a power forward. And now you look at the Lakers. They're missing size there, consistent size at the center position, but they have the best defensive rating over the last 20 games because they're all buying in and they're giving different looks. And LeBron James has won championships before without having a good center. We saw this with the Miami Heat. We saw this with the Cleveland Cavaliers, even though Tristan Thompson turned into a double-double machine in the playoffs, especially against the Toronto Raptors. But I look at LeBron, I look at Luka, you're going to be in every game moving forward because you have 2 of the best players in the sport today. And they're pretty much the same player when you look at them. Now, LeBron James is more athletic. He can get to the rim at a better rate. But IQ-wise, both of these players, they play the same. Drive to the rim, drive and kick, hit the 3-pointer. And LeBron James, you don't know him for being a great 3-point shooter. But this year, the 3-point shot has been very consistent. And we saw him start to go out there and hit logo threes against the Golden State Warriors. And another reason why I'm so high on the Lakers right now, they had a good defensive net rating when Anthony Davis was out. Many people forget this. Anthony Davis was injured when they traded him to the Dallas Mavericks. And their defense was still very good. They still have a top 10 defense in the NBA when he was out dealing with his injury. And you look at the other pieces that they have besides Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron. Look at Jared Vanderbilt. He's been a very good player on both sides of the court. Jared Vanderbilt's not going to go out there and give you 10 points a game, but he's a very good, versatile defender, and he's very big. He has the size. That's why their perimeter defense is #1 right now in the NBA over this recent stretch. Rui Hachimura has been very good on both sides of the court. This is a definition of a 3-and-D player. He's hitting that 3-point shot from the corner. He's hitting that 3-point shot from the top of the key. He's a very good screen and roller. He can get to the basket. He's going to come down with some of those lob dunks that you like to see from Luka. You look at Vanderbilt, you look at Finney Smith. Finney Smith has been a very good basketball player. Very good 3-point shooter, shooting 40% from 3. can hit some pull-up threes, but he's known for doing this, being yet another 3-and-D guy. And it seems like the Lakers have finally gotten it down to a T when they won that championship against the Miami Heat in the bubble. And you could say there's a Mickey Mouse ring. I know a lot of people joke about that ring. The Lakers had the perfect roster. You had Anthony Davis, you had Dwight Howard, but you had a bunch of 3-and-D guys. And anytime LeBron James has made a deep postseason run, anytime LeBron James has won a championship, he's had a couple of 3-and-D pieces around him. And I look at it from this standpoint. Austin Reeves, he's not a great defender, but the defense has gotten better. Luka, not a great defender, far from it, but he's showing effort on defense. All of these players can hit the three. And you're not going to just leave the paint wide open with LeBron. He can still slash to the rim. So I look at all the pieces around LeBron right now. There is no reason to why the Lakers cannot get to the Western Conference Finals. And no disrespect to the other teams in the Western Conference, because I believe they're great. This is the best conference in the NBA right now. And no offense to the Eastern Conference, but you have the OKC Thunder, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Denver Nuggets, the Houston Rockets, the Clippers, the Golden State Warriors, and the Timberwolves. And you still have the Mavericks when they're fully healthy with Anthony Davis. And you can make the case the Lakers, they have not been going against elite level competition. The only elite level competition that they went against was the Denver Nuggets. I look at the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're dealing with a lot of injuries last night to DiVincenzo, and the same with Julius Randle, and Anthony Edwards got ejected. But they were still balling out. We saw them lose games like this with Darvin Ham. They went to the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago when Darvin Ham was their head coach. So I look at it from this standpoint, a better coach. You still have two of the best players in the game. A very good and emerging star in Austin Reeves. And I'm going to give Jackson Hayes more credit than he deserves right now from the national media. When I look at what he's been able to do on both sides of the court, it's been great to see. They may flame out, but at the same time, we've seen teams start to hit their stride around this time of the year. We saw this with the Boston Celtics last year. The Boston Celtics, they got red hot, and look at what happened. They went to the finals. They won that championship against Luka. And this is one thing that not too many teams have in the Western Conference. Two players that have been to the finals. LeBron has won many championships in his career, but Luka was an essential piece to why the Dallas Mavericks went to the finals last year. No one saw the Mavericks going out there and beating the Thunder in a 7-game series. They didn't see them going out there and defeating the Minnesota Timberwolves when they were red hot when they just defeated the Denver Nuggets. So don't count out LeBron. Don't count out Luka. Right now, if you're a Lakers fan, you have every right to be excited. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about the new look Lakers? And do you believe that they can win a championship in their first year with Luka and with LeBron? And I will also say this, another hat tip and more credit to JJ Redick. It is hard as hell to go out there and miss your best defensive player. And even when he was missing games, for your defense to still be above average. But for them to go out there and to be a top unit on defense from the perimeter, and for him to just go out there and basically integrate Luka into the game plan like how it is right now, that's more credit to coaching. And the three-point shot will get better with Luka. I know in this video, I'm basically saying the three-point shot is not there. This is a man that's missed a lot of time. He was dealing with an injury that he suffered in December. Hasn't played much basketball since Christmas Day. So I look at that three-point shot and it continues to get better. We saw him shoot better against the Denver Nuggets, and then it tails off. When he gets in better playing shape, because he's lost some weight. He does not look like he's that 250-pounder that Nico Harrison was saying that he was when he was with the Dallas Mavericks. You let him get better in playing shape. He gets more reps with LeBron. That connection gets better. Lakers are working with something. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless.